Welcome to the Short Funk Podcast. I'm Tom Barbalet, and today the Saturn Show. I've talked briefly associated with setting up a camera to look at my greenhouse, and also through this experience, the feral cat that we have proceeded to feed in order to maintain around the greenhouse environment. This cat we named Saturn, or I did in particular, because it has rings around its body, and it's also slightly outside the visible distance of us. We need electronic, fine-tuned communications in order to pick up the movement of this particular feline. And also, it's kind of almost like a Truman Show reality television thing, because every day we tune in to see what Saturn is doing in the back garden. We tune in to see what kind of energy Saturn has. And we find this particular cat very, very interesting for just a few minutes a day. A few minutes a day, his general gallivanting, him running around the backyard very quickly, it amuses us. It's primarily because, and this is something that I will assert here, now he has all this extra food, he has extra energy, and he gets to behave like a cat, whereas previously he was some kind of feral creature that had minimal energy, had to conserve energy, and for this reason, he didn't have the playfulness that one might instinctively look towards as being cat-like. When we get back from our travels, the plan is to actually cage trap him and just get him more into a kind of familiar, interactable cat state. This might take a couple of weeks, it might take a month or so, but the plan is to use the guest house as a Saturn civilization ground. We can feed him, we can interact with him, we can introduce him to things like cat litter, for example, but he will still remain an outside cat with the ability to use the guest house when he needs a space for himself. A kind of outdoor-indoor conversion with the view that we want to be able to interact with him, get a sense that he knows we're the ones feeding him, and that we deserve a certain degree of interactive respect. If we continue the heavy feeding regime without any interaction, every time we try to interact with him, he runs off very quickly. It's not really a kind of productive, interactive relationship, and also it could be the case that he is genuinely so feral that he probably won't ever become like a familial cat. But having said that, I think we remain optimistic. He is very small, so the anticipation is probably he's a kitten or in, early adolescence and catdom. And through this time, I guess we'll get a better sense of him just generally as a cat. I mean, truth be told, we don't even know if he's a male cat. He could be a female cat for all we know. But we have observed certain behaviours which make us think that he's probably a male cat of some description. I'm going to try to minimise some of these aspects of the short funk recordings, but I wanted to put it out there because I think Saturn is going to be a periodic character. Tom Barbalet in San Jose, signing out.